This film shows you how to replace your e-bike's belt drive if it's showing signs of wear and tear. Since the belt has been designed to be durable, it's unlikely you'll need to do so for a good while. But it is a job you can tackle yourself, and here's how, starting with removing the rear wheel.
First of all, before you flip your e-bike over to remove the wheel, you need to detach the rear brakes. Just pinch the two brake arms together using your thumb and forefinger like this. Then using your other hand, simply lift out the brake cable, and that's done. Now you can flip your e-bike upside down like this, with its saddle in the lowest position, resting on a soft surface like a rug or carpet to protect it from getting scratched. The first thing you need to do is find the hub connector cable. It's right here on the left of the frame, the same side as the drive belt. Then use the Gtech tool to unscrew the cable guide and disconnect it from the frame. Now you need to loosen the bolts on either side of the wheel by placing the tool through them like this and turning anti-clockwise. Don't remove the bolts though, just loosen them. Next, find the two belt tension adjusters, just here on the rear forks. Using the tool, turn them anti-clockwise to loosen them a bit. Make sure you hold onto the wheel while you're doing this. Now, push the wheel forward as far as you can to reduce the tension of the belt. Then, rotate the pedals slowly so you can feed the belt off the pedal sprocket towards the frame, and then off the rear wheel sprocket and around the rear forks away from the frame. When you've done that, the belt should be in this position. Make sure to leave it resting in that position while you carry on with the job. Now you can simply slide the wheel backwards off the frame.
Now your wheel's off, we can quickly remove this, the dropout plate.
Use your Gtech tool to undo the 4 nuts on the dropout plate. The nuts are in 2 parts, so be careful to keep hold of both and keep them safe. And watch out when you remove the last nut, as the dropout plate will come away, like this. So make sure you've got hold of it securely. There you go. With the dropout plate off, you can lift the old belt from the pedal sprocket and feed it through the gap and out. Now do the reverse with the new belt, feeding it through the gap and resting it around the pedal sprocket. Then leave the belt resting over the pedal sprocket and rear fork like this, while you replace the dropout plate by reinserting all 4 nuts and tightening them securely.
And now to refit the rear wheel.
Bring the wheel towards the rear forks. Make sure the belt tension adjuster bolts are horizontal and facing the rear of the bike. Then place the hub cable through the rear forks facing forwards. Now, carefully slide the wheel back into place. Keep it pushed well forward on the fork to reduce the distance between the 2 sprockets. This will make it nice and easy to reattach the drive belt. Feed the belt over the rear wheel sprocket first, then over the pedal sprocket. It should feel quite slack at this point. Make sure to line up the teeth on the belt with the teeth on the sprockets properly. Slide the wheel backwards, making sure the belt stays on the sprockets. This creates the initial tension in the belt. To finish creating the tension in the belt, use the Gtech tool to tighten the belt tension adjuster screw located here, on the same side as the drive belt and sprockets. And to align the rear wheel with the frame, tighten the belt tension adjuster screw on the opposite side too. Now, stepping back and looking along the e-bike, make sure that the rear wheel is aligned with the frame. If not, you might need to adjust the tension in the screws a little bit until they line up.
The next thing before we're finished is to make sure that the tension in the belt drive is correct, and this is really quick and easy.
See this tension marker on the rear forks? Push down on the belt drive directly above it. If there's about 1 centimetre of movement, like this, the tension is correct. If not, it's back to the belt tension adjuster screws for a little adjustment. Tighten them for more tension, loosen them for less.
And having got your tension right, it's time to finish refitting the rear wheel.
Pop the Gtech tool through the nuts on both sides of the wheel and tighten them by turning clockwise. Reconnect the hub connector cable by lining up the arrows and pushing together, and tightening the cable guide to hold the cable in place.
Finally, reattach the brakes. If you assembled your e-bike yourself, you'll have been through this simple process with the front brakes, but here's a quick reminder.
With the e-bike upright again, just push the brake arms together and then pull the brake cable back across and hook the thinner end through the gap in the cable holder like this. Make sure the black rubber cable cover is flush against the metal cable holder and you're done. It should be simple, but if you're struggling, it might be because the brake cable is too tight. So here's how to quickly adjust it. Find the brake adjuster screw just here and use the tool to loosen it a little until you can move the cable. Then just push a little extra cable through. Then simply make sure the cable isn't too loose and securely retighten the adjuster screw. You should now be able to hook the thinner part of the cable into the gap in the cable holder. Before you cycle away on your e-bike, it's a good idea to double check that all the bolts and quick release levers are fastened securely. And if you've done a job that involves attaching or removing the brakes, give them a quick check to make sure they're adjusted correctly. There's another handy film to help guide you through this.